Hello. Yeah, hi, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
Adarsh.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session. Yeah, so did you all have a different session before this at before two? Is this the first session of the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, fine. So this session is specially dedicated to a part called Solve with Instructor, where we uh, try to where we try to give you a problem statement and then come up with a solution. So that helps you clear your what we say the ongoing doubts which you may have from before, or which you may have created while solving this. So it will be not similar to the one that we had last Friday. That was specifically based on numericals from week one, that one can have various concepts from week one, but this time we'll be focusing on codings now. So we'll move on to things like replit and all. Yeah, so this solve with instructor session is something that where your participation is much appreciated, as the name suggests, right? Solve with instructor. So I'll be solving things, and then you will be solving parallelly. You will be trying on things parallelly. If there are some issues, things will get clear. If I don't clear every anything while going through the things that I'm trying to do here, you can definitely ask yourself your specific doubt, no issues with that. All right. So, okay, before starting the session, let me have the status on how many of you have worked with or started working with questions, activity, practice, graded. Are you guys done with watching videos? Okay,
Yes,
only
sir.
one. You're done with watching videos. Okay, so how are videos going on? Easy, tough, medium? So have you all got the screencast together? Screencast are also available, right, with the content?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So yeah, so watching haven't completed. Okay, no issues. So yeah, screencast is something which I would suggest you should go parallel with, because you go through the theoretical and concepts in the main slides, and the videos that you get as a part of week content, and then you also get screencasts. So they are the practical part, which covers the practical aspect of what you are learning from the videos. So doing them parallelly will have a better impact, will have better effect on you. Yeah, questions on lab assignment I'll try to address at the last, okay, if the time permits. And I hope that with today's session, some of your doubts regarding the lab assignments will get clear. Okay, so, and if not, then you can ask. So let's keep that part in the till the last of the session. Okay, so fine. Before that, okay, we'll not put much time into it, but still I wanted to ask if there is any doubt regarding questions, activity, practice. Seems like not, so that is a really good thing. Okay, so I also hope you all understand that the questions, if they are coming out of the slides, which are not covered in slides, are something that you need to focus on for knowledge perspective. Okay, for concept perspective. And then there are things like memory based things, right? So you need to remember things, and then there is, depends on, it is totally a personal choice whether I want to remember certain number of tags or not. All right. We as a course instructors will not recommend you to remember anything, because we have not planned the course in that way where you have to memorize things, first thing. Secondly, we ourselves encourage you all to go through the web, the Google, and everything there is to search for certain contents. Same thing applies for lab assignment. So if there is something in lab assignment which is not clear to you, Google it and you'll definitely find the solution. All right. Okay. So let's come to the today's session. What I'll do is I'll give you a question statement. Okay, a very small question statement, and I'll try to give you certain pointers where you need to focus on in that question statement. All right. With the knowledge of what you have acquired in HTML and CSS, no more than that, nothing more than that. Pure HTML, pure CSS. You'll have to create simple static pages, right? HTML pages, and assign certain designs to it. Okay, what you can add in the pages, what you cannot add in the pages is there in the question statement that I'll be giving you. Okay, I'll wait for some time, and you are open to use any resource. No issues with that. It's not that it's not that if you know something then only you can solve. No issues with that. Then I'll give you certain time, just the way we did in the last session, solve with instructor one, where I used to give question and then you had to solve in certain minutes of time and that. So this time I'll give a certain more time because we don't have 5 questions. We have only one question statement. All right, I'll give you a certain time, and then after that I'll start solving. You might face certain doubts, you might get stuck somewhere, so you just have to wait and then see if that thing gets cleared as I solve along. Okay, so yeah, so let me just present my screen. Yeah, can you all see my screen? It shows Zoom meeting launching, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll open Replit. Okay, so how many of you have watched this thing, the tutorial on Replit, week 1? Yeah, right. So it was right. So you have the idea of how Replit works, how to code and how to make it run, right? So that will be helpful because I would definitely you can use your own ID, no doubt with that, no issues with that. But yeah, so since we have been doing things on Replit, I'll be doing things on Replit today also. So yeah, I'll open Replit, start solving, and then maybe you can do along. So if you can see my screen, I'll open the REPL, and if the REPL is visible to you, you will see a markdown. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is your question statement, right? So what you need to do is you need to create a wiki page giving information on the topic of your choice. So there is no foundation on what topic you need to work out. All right. So there is no certain topics that I'll be giving on my sites. I will be working on a topic, but you can choose your topic from your own. Okay. So this will be based on HTML and CSS. Just give me a minute. Okay. You can read the question statement by then. Yeah. So okay. So this is so you a wiki page where so let me just open and show you how Wikipedia looks like. I'm sure you know this, but see, so just for a reference. Yeah, so you can see my screen, right? Whatever I'm doing here, you can see that. Okay, so this is the Wikipedia page where you can see that there is certain number of headings and then the data on particular topic, and then there are things like did you know and other certain things. So then there are certain links where you can go to, like related things. So they are linked accordingly, right? So this is a simple. This is not a simple wiki page, and we are not planning to do this. We are not planning to make this. What we will have is yeah, so what we will have is suitable headings, right? So information of a particular topic that you chose in 1 or 2 paragraphs, so that will be the information part. We can have certain images, not more than 2, right? So we don't want to crowd our page, we don't want to complicate our code, so that's why we'll keep 1 or 2 images. Okay, and as we can see, this is the last part, right? There are certain links which are pointers to other things like Mark Hellinger Theater. So if I click here, it will give me information on that. So similarly, yeah, so similarly, we'll have certain links which will give us more information on other topics, right? There can be tables optional, right? Because tables might take some time. So it is an optional. You want to, you can. You don't want to, you cannot. You can. It's okay. No issues with that. Bootstrap is not required. Pure CSS is something that we'll be looking here. If you are completely okay with Bootstrap, go ahead. No issues with that, because this is for your practice. Okay. So those who are not well acquainted with Bootstrap, we don't have to worry about, because I'll be using simple HTML and simple CSS. The idea is to understand how things work. Bootstrap will give you a better design, better look, but the thing is, it's how it actually works is not currently required. Okay. Then I've also mentioned certain styling requirements where you can set page size. Okay, you can give your fonts from your own. Okay, any font you want. So you can assign certain background colors. All right, you can give certain font colors even to the font. All right, and then give certain borders. So these are basic CSS things that one might want to do in their files. Okay, and at the end of the day, what you will be learning, so you'll be learning that how simple HTML document is created. Okay, what are certain tags? Okay, so there are various questions on this course which talks about, okay, what is this tag, what is that tag. So I'll try to deal those questions as a general part. Okay, not targeting anyone. Then what is nesting of tags? Okay, how do we add links? How do we embed images? Okay, finally, so this is a part of HTML. Finally, we'll finally, you'll have like an idea of how to add stylings to the web page, right? Then there are things like block and inline elements. What are those? Okay, what is a display property? And then a very important concept of CSS is CSS box model. All right, so these are the things that that I plan for you to know at the end of this session. Okay, so the idea is to get the knowledge of these things while you're solving. So at the end of the day, I've created so as a what we say, as a reference to this, just as I gave of Wikipedia as a reference to this, I've also made one from my side following the same pattern, same things. So this is okay, right? Okay, so I'll just open it in the new tab just so that it is okay. So I've chosen the topic of data science, right? So it is a data science wiki. Okay, here it is a part which it gives certain information on data science and things. Okay, this information I've not written by my own. Refer Wikipedia, no issues with that. We are not, we are not bothered about what data should be. We are bothered about how it is made into an HTML document, right? So I've added an image. Okay, I've added things like how listing of items are done using HTML. All right, and then there are certain references that I've added. Okay, so this wiki page has two links attached to it, which are these, right? So relation to statistics and modern usage. So this relation to statistics, as I put my pointer on this, you see that there is again a link that is coming on the footer, right? So if I click on this, I'll have a similar page, but with different information. So that is a relation to statistics. All right, and then how it is related, a certain information on that. An image, so this image is definitely, you don't have to worry about, okay, we are talking about statistics, so I need an image on statistics. You can put anything, you can put a cartoon itself. These images are definitely taken from Google Images. Okay, so you don't have to worry about what image to put, how relevant those images are. And the second page is modern usage, right? So this is another one. So you one thing to observe, all the three pages are taking same stylings, right? So they are, bit following a kind of template. So we don't have to worry about template for now. What are those? And why, how do we come to the term called template? We'll let you know later on. Okay, so if you if you notice here, see, if this is the modern usage page, I'll have links only to the first page and relation to statistics page, right? So if I go to and one more thing, the technologies written in the list here have the bullets has A, B, C here, right? But if you go to relation to statistics page, two things to observe. This ABC became the bullets, unlisted bullets, like not the numbered ones, though not the serialized ones, and the links, right? So here, since I am in the relation to statistics page, there is no point of having a link that takes me to the same page. So we have modern usage and home. So once I reach home again, I'll have two pages of the two other remaining pages, right? And see the terminologies again. Here the list is 1, 2, 3. So these are like different ways in which we can list the items in the list in HTML. So you get the idea, right? So what are we using? So if I go back to Markdown, yeah. So what are we using? We are using certain headings. We are giving information in 1 or 2 paragraphs. We are using relevant images. Okay. Remove the term relevant here. Okay. You can use any image. Then we are using external links. Okay. I have not used tables. You can, no issues with that. The page layout, because see, it is not taking the entire page. So if I go to, yeah, so it is not taking the entire page. It is shifting my entire document at the center of the page. All right. uh, we have taken fonts. Okay, so if I see a normal HTML document and something that is using font, there is a difference, right? So you're using certain fonts. We are using certain background colors for these things, for the top header part and the footer part. Okay, then we are using borders, right? So this is a red color border. uh, Font colors, but okay, so this is about the HTML and CSS. What you will understand while creating is the block and inline elements, display property, and CSS box model, right? So these are the things that you need to work on today as a part of this session. Will be so starting from now. It's 2:20, 20 past 2. I'm not saying that you create it in within 10 minutes. I'm saying that I'll start working on it in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I'll give you a head start of 15 minutes. So we're not racing here. You can do it with your own understanding and add your own styling, add your own content. Now, anything that is not clear with this, please go ahead and question.
So do we need to create external CSS sheet or like inline?
Depends. It completely depends on you. No issues with that. Anything you can use.
Sir, what is mean by inline elements?
Okay, so you'll come to know. No, I'll explain, and then so when we come to an inline element, I'll explain what inline elements are. Right. So there will be things like some might not know what box model is, some might not know what display property is. So don't worry about what you don't know now. Just like I'm asking if there is any ambiguity or issues with the instructions that I gave till now. Don't worry about the concepts or things to learn that I've written. These are things to learn, right? So at the end of the session, you'll know. Okay, so anything that is not clear, I'll keep this page open. I'll keep this page open. And I don't know how to keep this page open altogether, right? So, but for you, I guess you don't have to, completely copy, use your creativity, how things are working, right? And then at the end, when this web pages are made, how they would look, how they should look, right? So what things you are trying to put. That is the idea. This is just for your reference, but what you need to look at it this page.
So you can share the repeat link.
Sorry.
Sir, can you share the repeat link?
Okay, for this.
For the description part, like what we have to do for today.
This one. This one, this MD Markdown.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, I'll send. But I'll keep this open. Don't worry. I'll keep this open for 10-15 minutes, and then when I will be solving, you can just follow along, right? You don't have to look at it. And the thing is, the application and this Markdown file are all in one folder. So if you see the file structure, they are all there in one folder. Okay,
So
so
we can simply take the screenshot and refer whenever required.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That also you can do. No issues. Okay, so as I suppose you have started, you can use Replit, no issues with that. If you're not very, comfortable with Replit, you can use your own IDs and then run your code on the browser. So no issues with that. I'll start in, let's say 1423 in my watch here. I'll start in 1435. Okay, and I'm not, and this is not the deadline for creating this thing. You don't have to rush. Just start. Yeah. So meanwhile, you can ask your doubts, no doubt. So those who have joined late, I don't know how much you have lost, but I think this is what you need to create. Okay. So if still if anything is not clear, just let me know. I'll answer. Yes, yes, you have to do it now. You have to start doing it now, and then you'll be so you have a head start of 10 minutes. Okay. Then I'll be doing it, and then you will be doing it along with me.
So like if I have an image and I put it on like the left side, then how can I have text written just next to it instead of starting from below the image? Like can it start like next to image?
Yeah, it can be.
So how?
Yeah, so actually the thing is that's where the concept of block and inline elements comes into picture, right? So the what happens is you need to create a different a different div just beside the image and then add your text there. Okay, are you getting what I said?
Like I've created another separate div for paragraph, and I can create another div for image itself, like that for link.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, so div for a paragraph, like whatever content is there.
Mm.
Okay, and then the div for image. But the thing is you need to find out or figure out how do you keep them aside side by side, right? This is where the hint for that, like I'll explain it, definitely I'll do it when I'll be doing, but for now since you're asking, you can take the help of a display property.
This
Okay, the display property of CSS.
right.
Okay, so okay, you try it. If you're not getting, I'll do this. So if this is right, this is our page, right? So here what you're saying is you want text here somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so while solving I'll bring this text here. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Like we can add text in, we can add link in text. Can be add in link in image?
You want to add link in image, as in you want to click on image and then it will go to some other part, right? Is that it? Is that what you're asking? Actually, voice is breaking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. See, here in relation to statistics, what is happening? So I'm making a link, okay, and then if I click on this relation to statistic, which is a text that is leading you to certain different page. What if you have an image instead of this text? If you click on the image, it will take you to the particular link, right? So instead of this text, you have to add the image. I'm getting how to do this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can try that. Try that. If there is an issue, we'll get it solved while I solve. So I'll solve in a minute. No issues. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone done? Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Any how is it getting along? You're able to do it? I'm not asking if like you finished or what, but you're able to do it.
So like there's problem with CSS part.
Okay, so done with the HTML.
HTML is done.
Okay, so all three pages.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Okay. Okay. Fine. So what I'll do is I'll start now, and then you can just follow along. If there is any issue or there is something that you want to do by yourself as a part of CSS, just let me know at the end, and then I'll try to work on that. Okay. So I'll close this, and this is the REPL that I've created for the same. Okay. So this is the markdown, and here is the code. Okay. So this is what we see as the part of site. This is the code. This HTML. And this is the file thing. Okay, and these are the images. This is that markdown file. These are the two other HTML pages. Just a minute. And this is the style. All right. uh, okay, so what I'll do is I'll have to close this REPL just to create a new one. We'll make everything from scratch, so I'll create a new REPL. I'm creating an HTML CSS JavaScript REPL. Okay, so in the tutorial you may have seen that it is a Python REPL. But since we are working on HTML, CSS, I'll be using this REPL. Okay, one advantage we'll have with creating this REPL is I'll let you know. Okay, I'll just rename it as SWI, which starts for solve with instructor, and then we'll give it week 2. Okay, yeah. So this is the new REPL. You can see that this code, like the basic structure, what is this called? This is DOM, right? This is the DOM. This is the basic structure uh, of any HTML document. Okay, now let me tell you what this first line means, right? So when you start this your HTML document with this, it will say exclamation mark doc type HTML, which means that the following HTML5 is an HTML5 compliant file. Okay, this is the meaning of that. And then like certain things like bootstrap and all, which works on or which are easily configurable with HTML5, can get that information and then gets configured. Okay, so we'll be using HTML and CSS. We don't need JavaScript, so we'll delete this file. All right, script.js. And since we are not using any script.js, there is no point in linking it in the HTML file. All right, currently what it will do is it will write hello world, I guess.
So is it necessary to write meta part here?
No, it's not necessary. See, actually this information, meta, char set, meta name, viewpoint, all these things are information about encoding and what we are using as content part, right? So these are important for the browser, not for us. It is just a good practice to mention this, but you don't need to, right? Because and the thing is, if you may have observed that when I created this REPL, these things came in right from the beginning. So this is what is like the format that comes in. What is this called, by the way? This entire thing is called as boilerplate. Okay, why are we calling it boilerplate? Because this is like the entire structure of HTML document. You want to add anything, you'll have to start from here. So this is the starting point of every HTML document, right? So that's why we call it a boilerplate. So if for some reason if I don't have this, it will come as like this. But for some reason if I don't have this, I'll just have to write exclamation mark. Okay, so if I write exclamation mark, you see that it is showing emmet abbreviation, right? So if I click on this, it comes back. Okay, so this is like the basic boilerplate of any HTML document. All right, and the style.css will not have anything currently because we have not given any style. Okay, so along with this since our application had 3 pages, right, I'll be creating 2 more HTML pages. So let me create 2 files, HTML files. So this is page 2.html. Okay, so okay, that got created, and again one more, page 3.html. Hey, what happened? Just a minute. Okay, didn't hit enter. Okay, so we have these three HTML pages that we'll be using for this what we call web page. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I'll keep the structure of my HTML document, the entire 3 pages. I'll keep the same structure so that I can target each page with the same HTML file, same style file. Okay, style.css file. Okay, why is this? It's not like any important thing, but what purpose it is serving? I don't have to create individual style css.css files for other HTML pages. Secondly, if you have observed the thing that I made before, the web pages that I made, they were following same pattern, right? Only the information and images and things like that were changing, but the structure of that document was same, right? And if you may have watched in the lectures, it is talking about the heuristics, where where we also target about having proper flow of documents, where you can switch between pages. That is, navigation between pages is very easy, and they follow similar structure, like all the pages are following similar structure. So if you change the page, it should not look like that you have come to an entirely different website, right? So you need to keep certain things same in the web page. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create this index.html and copy the same code in the other 2 pages, and then same change only those content which are specific to the page. Okay, all right. So up to here it's clear, right? Okay, and then again, if I'll change this title to data science wiki, I'll be making exactly same what I did. Okay. Okay, so this the data science wiki. So this will remain constant in all the 3 pages. So even if I switch between pages, the title of the page will not change. Okay. All right. Now the structure of body, what happens inside the body? What I'll be doing is I'll be creating the tag structure first, and then I'll simply add the data into it. All right. So uh, so if I want something to be done for the entire page, okay, for that I need to have a tag. Okay, we can target it with body, but that is not a good practice to play around with body. Okay, because body will have everything that is there on the page, right? So if you target body, like style the body itself, the entire page will get styled according to that. But I suggest you will not play around with body. We'll create a different element for that. Okay, so if I click on div, so if I simply type div, again an emmet abbreviation is being shown, which if I hit enter, it will give me the starting and ending of the div. Okay, is this happening with you all?
No,
Hello.
No, sir.
It's not happening on the replets also.
So I'm using Replit, but it is not showing emmet abbreviation for div.
It's not showing. Okay, so it must be some extension. But what you can follow is simply write the thing. Okay, I'll wait. I'll not go ahead with my shortcuts. I'll wait here so that you can write the entire code, right? And what it is doing actually is simply making me the starting, like the beginning and the end of that div tag. It is helping me in that, nothing more. So it is absolutely okay if it is not coming in your case. All right. And about the boilerplate, it is okay if you don't have these things. Just write this. It is okay if you don't write this lang equals to en. It is okay. You can simply start with HTML, end HTML, head, end head. So this heading, this head and body are within HTML tag itself, right? So this is the basic thing that you need. Then you can put title, end title. That is it. Okay, so I'll go a bit slow for this page because other pages will be simply a copy paste. So if it is not showing any emmet abbreviation, don't worry, it's okay. Sometimes shows it, sometimes doesn't show.
So what does div tag actually does? Does it create a block like something?
Yeah. So see, if you want, so let's. Oh yeah, I close that. No, okay. But I think it won't work in same. Okay. So no issues with that. See, what happens is if you see this replet, it is having three sections, right? One which shows file, one which shows the code, and one which shows the output. So output is like even the code output or the so this is output, right? So what happens is this is segregating your code with your files and your output with your code. Okay, so this each part is a block, right? Which is a very good way of creating a website where you differentiate between certain items. Okay, so what div tag does is it does the same thing. It creates a block. Whatever you put inside the block will be a part of that block. And then if I want to bring about a change to that entire block, I can simply target this div, right? Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now see one thing. So there is one shortcut. See if I okay, so leave that for now. So if I have this div, okay, so you don't have to worry about if it is coming by itself or not. You can simply type by yourself. Okay, so this one first div will have the entire document, right from beginning of heading till the what we have had in the last was the links, right? So till that part, everything will be there in this div. Okay, now within this div, I'll create three divs. Again, three div. So section in three sections inside a bigger section. That is what I'm doing. Okay. So see what I'll be doing is I want so do you understand things like classes and IDs and things of that sort? Do you know what that is?
No, sir.
Okay, so how can I get two images to be displayed side by side? Yeah, so I'll come to that. I'll come to that. All right, so you don't know what classes are or what IDs are, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so see, what happens is these are called as CSS selectors. CSS selectors. Why are they called as CSS selectors? Because let's say there are three different divs. Okay, so I'll create three divs. One just one div I'll create here. Okay, this is div 1, div 2, and div 3, right? So these are three divs. Okay, now I want to add stylings to only this div. Okay, I want to add styling only to this, but I don't want to add styling to this. Okay, now if I want to add styling, one way is to write simply, okay, I want to add styling to div, write div and add styling, right? But what will happen with this? What will happen with this? All the three divs, all not only three, all the four divs that are there in that particular document which I'm linking, all the divs that are there in that document will have the same styling, will be selected for that styling. Okay, that is not what I want. All right, what I want is I want to select only this. I want to select only this. So this is where the CSS selectors come into picture. Okay, so CSS selectors are where you want to target. So what you do is you give an ID. So let's say there are 100 students in a class, and each student has an ID, right? So that ID is specific to that student. Doesn't matter the class has only boys or girls. So let's say there is a class which has 100 boys and only boys. Okay, so how will you differentiate between boys? You give IDs, right? So that one ID is confined to one boy. Similarly, one ID in CSS selectors is confined to one element. So if I give an ID, how do I give ID? Simply by writing ID. Okay, so this is what I'll say it is container one. That's it. So this is the idea of div. Now, if I want to select only that div, instead of writing div here, I'll write container one. But that is not all. Why? Because here CSS, if you write simply whatever is written here, CSS takes it as the element. Okay, CSS takes this whatever written here, this selected part or this green underlined part, whatever is written here, CSS takes these things as the element. but there is no container one element in HTML unless you have defined. Okay, so there is no container one element. Okay, and then even in my document, there is no container one element anywhere, but there is an ID. Okay, so how to tell CSS that no, this is not a element, this is an ID? You write hash. Okay, so this hash container one will tell the CSS, okay, there is an container one ID. There is an element in the HTML document whose ID is container one. Is that clear? This part is clear?
Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay, now the thing is, now this solves one problem, but it creates another problem. What is the another problem? The problem is if I wanted to target this, so if I have, let's say, 100 divs, see what I'm doing now. So it is div, okay, into 10, right? So I wrote div into 10, it gives me 10 divs with starting and ending tag, right? So this is just a benefit of emit abbreviation. So I'm having these many divs now, okay. And if I keep on, and if I want to style all these divs together, I want to style all these divs together, but I don't want to style this div, right? You're getting the problem statement, right? You want to style all the divs here, which are selected, but you don't want to style this div, the parent div. Okay, so how will you do that? Will you keep on assigning ID to each one of that and keep on targeting each and every one with an ID? That is not possible, but not an efficient way. Okay, if I simply write div here in the CSS, what will that do? It will take this div also, which is not required. Okay, so what we can do is we can give a class. Okay, so now as an example, I gave a class, right, where which was having only boys. Okay, but I want now there is a class which have both boys and girls, but I want to target only boys. Okay, so IDs won't work here because even if there are boys, each boy will have different ID, individual ID, and I'll have to keep on talking about individual boy. So I don't want to do that, but I want to take that part of all the boys together. So in that case, one more selector comes in, that is class. Okay, so how do I say that how do I say that this particular has a class boy? So simply I'll write class equals to, okay, now, okay, so we are not talking about boys and girls here, but I'll write here container class. Okay, so this is the class. Okay, so this should be written here, I'm sorry, within the tag, right? Yeah, so this is container class. Now if I create this, okay, I'll delete this. So what will happen? This container class is that selector that will select all the elements, So this is not only confined to div. So let's say if I have another element, let's say P. Okay, now what P does, forget about that. Only just pay attention that it has a class, container class. Okay, this is fine. So it will select all those elements whose class is container class. Okay, how to do that in CSS? I'll just write it here like this. So it is container class, all the style followed by this. But again, this is not an element, right? But this time it is not an ID also. How to say that it is a class? Just put a dot. Okay, so dot container class is the way of selecting. See, it is showing element class container class, right? It is showing me. So this shows that the CSS will understand, okay, there is a container class within the HTML document, and I need to select all those elements whose class is container class. This part is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? This part is clear. So who did not have any idea about selectors now, can you say that you have an idea of selector now, what they are?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is not at all, because there are not only three ways of selecting. What is three ways? ID, class, and the element itself. So these are the three ways I've shown, but there are various other methods of selecting, right? Various complex methods which we don't require in creating simple slides, but what we need is, like, when we create more complex websites, we will need all those selectors, but for now we don't need. Okay, for now our work will be done with id, class, and individual element, and all those three selectors I'll be using while designing this web page. Okay, all right, so I'll delete this part. So what I've done now, I've created a div whose id is container1. I'll create another div. Okay, so I'll create three divs. Okay, and this is all. I need only three divs. What is the major content of div 1? I'll put the heading and subheading in the div 1. I'll put the paragraph part in div 2. Okay, and I'll put the footer, that is the links and all, in div 3. Okay, so this is the basic structure of my HTML document, and this will remain same for all the three pages that I'm going to create. Now there are certain more things that will be, same for the other two pages also. So once that is done, I'll paste this part to other pages. Okay, so now I'll go to this div, first div. What will that contain? That will contain the heading. Okay, the heading. So I'll write h1. Okay, so this is the first level heading, which shows, which defines the largest font, which actually, this is not, it is not, what we say, a strict rule that h1 will have the largest font. We can alter that, but h1 to h6, these are the levels of heading or hierarchy of heading. Okay, so if I define h1 with a certain text with h1, it will have the largest heading. Okay, we just need to understand this. So again, it is showing me that abbreviation. What, for those it is not showing, what you have to do is simply open it and close it with slash. Okay, and whatever text comes between this tag will be taken as the heading tag. Okay, so I'll write it as uh, data science wiki. Okay, so this is the first page. All right, data science wiki, and then I'll write, now I want another heading which is not the h1 but a smaller one, so I'll take h2. Okay, and here I'll write basic information, simple information on what this page does. So okay, so this page gives information on data science. Okay, fine. So I'll try to run this. Yeah, all right, so you can see the preview here. Okay, and the same thing can be done. So if I do this, it will be opening in the new tab which I showed before. All right, so this is my basic front page, which will have only this information, data science wiki, and this page gives information on data science. All right, so we'll move ahead. The second part will have certain the actual information. Okay, so that actual information will be given with the help of paragraph tags. Okay, so I'll give just paragraph, like p, and give this, hit enter, right? So this will create the paragraph tag. Okay, the p starting and the ending. So remember, the tag without forward slash are the beginning of the tag, and the tags with forward slash are the ending tags. Okay, so there are certain tags which require the starting and ending. For example, all the tags that we have seen till now are not the self closing tag. These are called as no self. These tags are not self closing because they need a closing tag to let them know, okay, we have to close here. Okay, there are other tags which needs only the starting tag, and then you have to forget about it. So those tags are called as self closing tag. So we'll come to that later. Okay, so this p will have the actual information. So what I'll do, I'll go to Wikipedia. Okay, and take the information from here. So I hope I get the same page. Yeah, because Wikipedia is mostly static. All right, so this is the page that I got, and this is the page which I got before when I was creating the slide. Okay, so I'll take this part. Okay, simply copy and paste. Okay, what I'll do is remove links, this links. Okay, so you can see that in on Wikipedia, this and this are two different paragraphs, right? This and this are two different paragraphs. So that's what we'll do. We'll create this as two different paragraphs. So I want to end this paragraph here. I'll simply put /p. Okay, paragraph ended. Same thing, but now this one has ending, so I'll have to start here a different one. This is fine, right? So if I reload this page, so I'll go to this page, our page, data science wiki, and reload it. Yeah, so you got the paragraph here, right? So we got the information also that is there. Next, so are we clear with this part till now? How things are coming up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next we'll add image. Okay, so this image again I'll add in the second div. Okay, so we're done with the paragraph part. I'll add the image. Okay, so currently I don't have images here. I need to add images in this directory because I'm working here, right? So I need to add images here. Upload file. Okay, so these are the images. I have already saved them. You can take it from Google Image. Okay. All right, so I have these images now. So the only thing I need to link these images to my page. Okay, for that, there is a simple different tag specific for images. Just write img. Okay, so it gives me. So what are the attributes of an image tag? An image tag has source attributes where you define what is the image. Okay, and alt. So what is alt? I'll let you know just in a minute. Okay, so for now, if I say my image is abc.png. Okay, I know that there is no image called abc.png here. And if I write here comes image. So if I write this here and I try to reload this, what I see that the text is coming what I have written here. So this ALT stands for alternate text, alternative text, not alternate, alternative. So if the browser renders the HTML file and see that, okay, there is no image with this name. So what it will do, it will give an alternative text. So whatever the alternative text I've given here will come here. Right. So you may have seen while loading an image that certain times you see this, right? And then you see image name and all, right? So what I can do is write here abc.png, just to say that an image called abc.png was supposed to come here but could not come due to network issue, right? So you can see, you may have seen these things. Okay, but now since I have the image, I'll write here ds1, sorry, 1.png. So this is the alternate, the name of the image which I want as an alternate text. Okay, and simply I'll put the same thing, right? ds1.png. Okay, so if I load this, the image should come. It's not coming. Why? Why is it not coming? Any idea? So let's see. So we are having the image here. So go to index.html. Write the, okay, so I'm writing the extension correct and this correct. Okay. Yeah, came out. This is the image. So I'll go to the wiki page and reload it. Okay, so this is the image. Okay, are there something in text? Okay, yeah, so this is the image, very big for now, but we'll modify it later on, because all the modification making it look good for now, we are just creating the skeleton. To put some skin and flesh on that, we'll use CSS. Okay, so next is to, now we have added with image. Next is to add the list. All right, so if I go to wiki page, I'll also see that. So these are the technologies, right? Technologies and techniques. So this is what I've added: linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, and things like that. So I'll add those now. Okay, so we're done with P, we're done with image. Okay, and then we are done with image. Now we'll add the list. Okay, so there are two types of list: ordered list and unordered list, right? So even in Word, when you work with bullets, you may have come across that the Roman numerals, and then the dotted, the bullets. So the dotted ones are the unordered list, where you don't have to bother about the order, and the ordered list are one where you have like 1, 2, 3, and things like that. Okay, so here I'll put a ordered list first. So what I'll write OL, simple, ordered list. So this tag defines that, okay, you want to create a ordered list, and in the ordered list I have to define each element with a new tag. Okay, and that element, that tag is list item, li. Okay, so if I click here, it will give me a list item. Okay, so if I'm planning to put 4 here. We had 3 in the original one, we'll put 4. Okay, and I'll put the things that are there. So what is there? Linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, and support vector machine. Cluster analysis seems shorter. Linear regression, and there is logistic regression, then there is decision trees, and what else? Cluster analysis. Okay, so if I run this, yeah, see, I got the list here, but okay, there is no heading, right? So I'll add a heading here. Okay, so there is no heading to everything, right? Okay, fine. So if I go to this wiki page, I see, okay, this page gives information on data science, but here I want to mention that, okay, this image, this is the image, and here, okay, let me reload. Yeah, here I want to specify that these are the technologies that we are using. So I'll do that. So then with paragraphs, just before image, I'll write with an H3. Okay, so H3 image, and again I'll give an H3 and write technologies. Right, what was that? Technologies and techniques. Write only technologies. Okay, yeah, these things have got loaded up. All right, yeah, so I hope this part is clear. Any doubt till here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so see, so I'm simply creating this, but see, with creation of every new thing, there is a new element attached to it, right? So you're getting how different elements are attached. Okay, so we have talked about ordered list. Okay, further we'll talk about unordered list also. Then we have talked about different headings hierarchy, H1, H2, H3. Will not go below that. Okay, we have added image. We have also seen that how if image doesn't load, what comes as an alternative thing. Okay, we have seen certain selectors. We have seen how paragraphs are added. Okay, so these are generally basically what you need to know about HTML. Okay, now there are certain more things like links and all. We'll come to that. And for that, we have specifically defined our third div. Okay, so here again, I'll add a new heading with H3 and say that additional information, or see more, right? So additional information. So this will give me an additional information with the help of links. Okay.
Sir, sir, may I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
So sorry to interrupt, but in the image tag alter is necessary to write.
No, it is not necessary. Remove this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, remove this.
And we
Okay.
cannot write an as a image address in alter.
Image address and in alter. Yeah, you can write that. See, in alter, whatever comes within this code is a text, is a string. Now that string can be anything. So you can write the image address also. So if you remember, I have written ds1.png as source also, and ds1.png as alt also.
Okay, sir.
Right. So anything can come, and even if you don't want it, don't put it. Remove it. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Then what was issue about not loading the image in previous part?
Something maybe I don't know. Let me see. Now it's coming. So how can I go back to it's not coming? Maybe I'm not sure. I'll try. Okay, let me see this. If what you're saying is the actual issue, alt ds1.png. Okay, so ds1.png. Let me run and see this. See, so that wasn't an issue. Maybe some reloading was the issue, right? So you can put the same thing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if I put it like this, like 2 ds12 and try to run it, it will show me the ds1.png, right? Okay, so that's what I stopped in between to check if I had put anything wrong, but then nothing was wrong. So the issue was something with reloading the page, or I don't know. Okay, so you can put. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is within this code, anything you write is a text, right? Doesn't matter, text as in string, doesn't matter what you write. It is just an indication of what to write here if the image doesn't load. That's it. No further more significance of that.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So in the additional information, so this till here it is clear, right? So we'll go with the additional information. Now, how do we add this additional information? With the help of other pages. Okay. So that other pages I need to link with my main document, the one which gets loaded here, right? How to link that? With the help of anchor tags. So these are anchor tags, not the link tags. See, link tags, the difference between anchor and link is the link tags are used in the head tag. Okay. With the link tag, we'll be linking style sheet, JavaScript, bootstrap file, other dynamic files in the head tag using link tag. But in the main body, we use anchor tag to link files. Okay, so if I click on some, so this anchor tags help as a link, act as a link. It acts as a link. But see, what is happening when I link a CSS? That CSS will not come anywhere in the body. Okay, click here and you'll see the CSS page. That is not happening, right? That is getting embedded in the HTML file. But the link tag, sorry, but the anchor tag is to provide link visible on the web page. So this is the difference, right? Any confusion here?
No, sir.
Right. So I'm clear here, right? The difference between link and anchor is link links the additional files to your HTML document. And anchor tags are to write additional or to make the additional links visible on the web page. Okay, so there is a difference. Okay, so this anchor tag, so what comes here? Here href comes to href takes the address where you want to go, and whatever comes here is the text that will be seen on the page that you need to click, and then you go to that address like that. Okay, so here what was the other information that I wanted to put was this, right? So I was putting relationship with statistics. So I'll write this because this is what I want to see. So this part, whatever is coming here is mostly human understandable. Because that is how I'll know, okay, if I click here, I'll go to something that is related to statistics or something that relates statistics with data science, right? But here it can be absolutely any link that addresses to the resource that you want. In our case, our resource would be page2.html, right? So what happens if you click on relation to statistics, you should be redirected to page2.html. Okay, so if I reload this, I'll see this. Image takes time to read. Okay, so I get you. Can you see this? I am getting a link here. So if I click on this, the same page will be reloaded. No, the page 2 will be reloaded, but you won't be see anything because there is nothing on page 2. It's only the, okay, there's nothing. Yeah, so that's why you are not seeing anything. But the problem is I'll have to, I guess, reload this. Yeah. So this is one way. This is one anchor, and we need another anchor, right? Which will go to this part. Where is that wiki? This will go to this part, the early usage things like that. So I'll add one more link. Okay, and the address for that part is page3.html, and then the text that should be visible on the pages early usage, right? So if I reload this, I'll get both the links. Okay. Okay, so I can add something like a pipe here to make, bring a differentiation between the links, right? So if you are unable to see there, I'll put it here. Yeah. So can you see these two links are having a differentiation with that pipe? So this is nothing but a simple text that is coming up. Okay. So even if you don't put any tag and simply write, no, you'll have something coming up on the web page. Okay. So this pipe simply puts the differentiation between these two. Okay. So I guess with this, let me put this A in capital. Okay. With this, we're done with our first page. Okay. The first HTML.
Question.
Just a minute. Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead. Please ask.
So like you put that pipe there, but you put like 3-4 spaces, then you type pipe, but no spaces, like it's showing like before and after pipe. So how can we add spaces like before and after if you want?
You add space here.
So we cannot add like a space before like that.
Where do you want to add space?
This like before pipe, like we can have like 6-10 spaces.
Okay.
And
Before pipe this. No, so the thing is, see what happens is, see even if I put here, it didn't come, right? So why is this happening? Because of the display of the tags. Okay. So what happens is anchor tag has a inline display. Okay. So this inline display, what does inline display means? It will take only that much space, which is there in the text. Okay, I'll explain when I come to developer tools. Okay, but I'll explain, don't worry, I'll come to that pipeline. No, I'll come to that. But for now, this is how you should put a pipe, and this is how you should create the HTML document. So this is more or less what I've shown, right? As far as HTML is concerned, we are not gone to CSS, we haven't added style. This looks very ugly, but our work is done. The information that we wanted to put in the form of HTML is done. Now we need to, decorate it with CSS. But this is the first page of our HTML file. Okay. Now, since the entire structure of other two pages also will be same, okay, same thing, but only the information will differ. What I'll do is I'll simply copy the entire HTML file and paste it there. Okay, just put the entire HTML file and pasting it there. But now I need to make certain minute changes here and there. So first page was showing data science wiki, but this is not. This page is showing the relationship with statistics, right? Yeah, so relationship with statistics. And what does this page do? This page gives information on how data science is related to statistics. Statistics. Okay, so this is one change. Second, so I'm not changing title anywhere. Let's keep it as is. Second thing that I want to change is here, relationship to statistics. Okay, and copy the entire thing, and I'll put it here. Okay, and we'll try to remove this links and all. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll randomly break it from somewhere, Stanford professor, and put it in another paragraph. Okay, so the data is also changed. Okay, there is one link here. So data is changed. Second thing that I want to change is the image on this page. So I got the image, but this page would have loaded ds2.png. Right? If I had loaded this page, it would have loaded ds2.png instead of the image, simply because of the extension. There is no file ds2.png here, but there is a file called ds2.jpeg. So need to take care about the extensions also. JPEG. Okay, we'll keep this terminology same because this will remain same. But one thing that we need to change here is make it unordered list. To make it unordered list, bulleted list, just replace this O in ordered list with U. That is done. And the third is additional information. Okay, so now once you are on the relation to statistics page, you would want to go back to home page and the early usage page, right? You don't want to go to that page, that same page, keep reloading it. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll change the address index.html and I'll simply write it as home. Okay, and page 3 remains page 3. So I guess that is all for this page. Okay, so if I reload this, let's see what happens. Okay, so I have a page. If I go to relation to statistics, I go to another page. Correct. So everything is loaded. Our page 2 is also ready. Can we print links line by line? Yeah, we can do that. We can print links line by line. One way to do it is, there are multiple ways of doing it. One way to do it is just do this. And reload it. You got the links line by line. What did I do? I just put a page break here. So if home is here, and if I put a break here, everything that follows the break will come in the next line. Okay, I'm putting a break here. So this is BR tag. And if you can observe, you'll see that this BR tag has nothing called /BR. So there is no closing BR tag, right? This BR tag is sufficient enough to say, okay, everything after this go in the next line. So these are called as self-closing tags. Okay, so there is no need to put /BR as a closing tag for BR. This closing tag is simply for breaking the line, BR, break. Okay, so everything that follows this BR tag will come in the next page. Okay, another way of doing it is by using the display again. So when I go to display developer tools, when we'll go to styling, I'll go to that part. Okay, so for now, can you wait? So this is one way, right? Yeah, let me check. Yeah, Dinesh, is that fine? Can you will this suffice for now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we'll do it in another way also. Just wait. Okay, so this BR tag. So I'll remove it for now because I want uniformity. So if I remove the BR tag and still put this in the next line here, right? I'm putting it writing here on the next line will not make any difference. It will still come in the same line. Right? It will still come in the same line. The BR tag was important. All right. So this is the second page. So if I go to next page, that is page 3, what I need to do is again change the main data, that is make it to early usage. Yeah, early usage. Change the content. Okay, so yeah, just removing the link. Okay. Yeah, so I'll remove this the entire part. Don't want so much crowding here. And we'll put this part here. Okay, so that will change the content. Yeah, some links here and there. Fine. Next is to change the image. Here again, this image is having a different extension. So that is JPG. Change it here also. JPG. Okay. Technologies, I'll keep it as is. The only thing is I'll keep it as unordered list. Yeah, did we observe that? Is it? Yeah, see. In the page 2, I kept it as unordered, right? So that's why it's coming into bullets. Yeah, but what if I wanted ordered, but not 1, 2, 3, 4? Right? I wanted order, but not 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'll do is I'll simply add a attribute to this, saying that type is A. Okay, in ordered list, the main thing that defines that, okay, a list is coming. Okay, so you need to define this attribute type as A, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4 will get replaced by A, B, C, and D. Okay, the additional content seems like that. Now, since we are in page 3, we want to go to page 2, and we want to go to home. Yeah, is that it? Images change technology. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, so you go to early usage. Yeah, so we'll see this 3 different image, different content. Yeah, this information we did not change. Yeah. So technologies, can you see this A, B, C, D? Because we have changed the type of how bullet should appear. Okay, so we'll change this part, this heading. This page gives information on early usage of data set. That's it. Yeah. So this is about the HTML, right? So you got 3 pages. If I go back to home, it should lead me to the first page. It's taking time to load images. That is not an issue. Okay, so the first page is having relation to statistics and early usage. If I go to relation to statistics, it should have home and early usage. If I go to early usage, it should have home and relation to statistics. What is this early? No, it's not early, it's early. Just a minute. Early usage, right? Yeah, so this is about the HTML. We're done with the HTML part of our code. Any doubts here anywhere?
So even if we don't put the closing tag, sometimes it works fine and does not display any error.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. But the thing is, see, if you don't put the closing tag, everything after the opening tag comes under that tag. Right. So if I remove this div from here, no, if I remove this div from here, see, I've closed this closing div I removed, right? So my div tag starts from here, or even it starts from here because there is no closing, right? So it starts from here and it ends to the next closing div. This one. Okay, which is the original div, so no issues. Now if I go with this tag, so if it will start from here, it will ignore this div, right? And then it will end here. Yeah, here it will end. So this is not your div tag, right? Problem with these things, your styling will be completely changed, because whatever you have assigned to this div will be applied to everything that is followed, firstly. Okay. Secondly, so this is one of the major drawbacks, right? That your div is not, the exact div which you want it to end. Okay. And the styling that you have provided for one div is also getting embedded or also getting applied to other divs or other parts which are not even div. Okay. So the problem is, even if you don't give div, everything will come up and HTML will not throw any error, right? So you're saying that it works fine. No, it actually doesn't work fine because you don't know what is happening. Okay. Beside, HTML will not say, okay, error in code, therefore cannot display. That is Python's work. Okay. So if you want to really know what happens if you don't give a tag, just wait, I'll show you. Okay. So this is one doubt that I need to clear, that every tag that is not self-closing needs to be closed.
So actually, in lecture, sir mentioned that if we misplace the closing tag order, then it would be an invalid thing. So how will that show that it is an invalid?
Yeah, I'll show you that. One more thing. So see, if you want to nest div tags, right? So there is a div tag, and inside this there is a div tag and paragraph tag and other tags like this. So if you remove this, the nesting will also get disturbed. Okay, how it is getting disturbed, I'll show you. So what happens is, even if you remove this p tag, no, your paragraph will come here. Paragraph will get displayed. That is not an issue. But the problem is, when you apply certain styling which is only confined to this paragraph, will be applied to every paragraph that is following, unless and until this paragraph finds a closing tag. Okay, so we'll see a visual representation of that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me go to first page. Yeah, go ahead.
So one more doubt, sir. What is the difference between the paragraph and the div tab? So like even the div divides that into different passages, right? And paragraph
Yeah,
also is the same.
no
So
difference. See, no difference. You remove this paragraph tag, remove this, and you'll still have the same answer. It's just that we want things to be in the order. So div is a container. Div should not have anything text related things. Everything that you want to put as a text within div should be put in paragraph. So there are certain, what we say, certain recommendations that we follow. Okay, so you don't need to confuse on concept that, okay, that div is also, if I write text in div also, that is working. If I write text in paragraph, that is also working. Then why do we have these two different things? They are not different. But see, in paragraph tag, I would prefer writing text, because I want to target other things like font, margin, and padding, and box model, and other things with div. I don't want to work those things around on paragraph.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if I want to target like div, if I want to see, this is a paragraph, right? If I want to bring a background in this paragraph, okay,
Okay.
it will be imperative to use div rather than the paragraph itself.
Okay. Okay.
Getting? So I would use paragraph only to mention, okay, this is text.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, can be done with div? Definitely can be done. But would I use it with div? No, I will not.
Okay.
So that is the thing. See this H3, right? Why do we need H3 if I can simply set the font size? No need, right? So there are certain things that we follow. So if I do not define this H3, I will not know, okay, this is third level of heading.
Okay.
Right? So everything has a significance, and everything has a, what we say, a particular specific feature that should be used. So paragraph is used to represent text with paragraph. What is the issue?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, so that is one thing. Now we'll move to developer tools. Like why? So this is the HTML document that we have created. What if I have a originally created HTML document, and I want to see, okay, what are all the components? How are things designed? how are things styled, what is used, what are the tags used in that HTML document. Simply right click, go on inspect. Okay, so see what it shows. First I'll explain this thing. So these are various things that are related to a web page. So there are, firstly there is an HTML that is rendered by the browser, which is seen in the part of in the elements, right, element section. Okay, so the entire HTML that I have created has come up here. See, the head, body, div, and 3 divs having 3 IDs container, right? So it came up here. So what I can do, see, every time I go on a particular div, that particular part gets highlighted. So this is where you target. Okay, this is how CSS targets. Okay, second is console. What is console? Console is like a terminal for getting JavaScript outputs. Okay, so whenever I want a JavaScript code to be embedded, and that JavaScript code returns something, returns a certain value or text or any outputs, that will come on the console. Like it is like the terminal when you run a Python code, and if the Python code returns anything, everything that comes as a part of Python comes on the terminal. Same thing is the console. The sources, network, and performance talks about the web page that is being rendered by the browser. The web page, its connectivity, its peers, its sources, right? Memory, how much memory it takes. Okay. Application, what kind of application it is. Is it using SQL? Is it using cookies? Right? Things like that. Security, what kind of security? So these things will come in the later stages. What we need to focus on is this elements. Just I'm telling you the overview of developer tools. Okay, Lighthouse is something that you don't need to see. This talks about things like more, more what we say, things that are more modern, things like performance. So initially, when we are creating an HTML static page, we don't talk about performance, things like performance. Why? There is no need. There is no JavaScript running in the background, right? So things like that comes when we embed JavaScript and we talk about things like backend and server and all those things. So when we talk about desktop, like platforms like mobile and desktop, so Lighthouse and all comes there. When we talk about certain login page and things, then we'll come to know about, okay, what security is using. Is it using HTTPS? Is it using HTTP only? Is it using basic auth? Things like that. All right. So you don't need to worry about these things now. Only elements, not even console. Okay, now this is pure HTML structure. But what is assigned as a design to this HTML comes in this part, the style. Okay, so these are some inherited HTML things that comes with the browser. Don't need to work from it. See, this is injected style sheet. So this injected style sheet is coming due to browser. You don't have to worry about that again. But the thing is, you can target any element here and assign a temporary styling to that. Okay. So let's see. And now, before I talk about anything about styling, let's talk about one important thing that you have been asking is block elements and inline elements. All right. So let's say we talk about first div. Okay. So if I click on that div, that particular div gets selected. And if you see this entire blue color is the space taken by that div. Okay. It is the space taken by the div, not the text. The text will be within that div, but if I write div and even do not write anything in that inside that, it will take a space will be reserved on the screen for that div, and that space in width will be equal to your screen width. Okay, so it will be taking the entire width of your screen, whatever screen you have, it will be taking the entire width. It will not allow anything to come here. That is the reason our paragraph has come below it. Okay, our paragraph has come below it. Even if I have not given any break tag or things like that, right? It will come below it because this element is a block element. It reserves a block for itself. Doesn't matter how small the content is there within it. Okay, so even if this data science wiki and this page gives information on data science takes a very, take a very small place as far as width is concerned, but still it will reserve the entire width. So these are the block elements. The elements which take up the entire width of the screen are called as block elements. All right, is this clear with the block elements? And to prove that it is a block element, see this. This div has a display of block. Okay, so these are the block elements. Now let's see what paragraph is. Let's see what h1 is. See, h1 is also taking the entire width of its parent element. See, for this div, who's the parent element? Body. So this div will take the entire width of body. The next h1, who's the parent of h1? The div with container id 1, right? Id container 1. So it will take the entire width of the parent element. So that is again a block element. I'll talk about h2. So all h's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are block elements. Okay, next we'll move. Next we'll move to paragraph. So paragraph is also taking the entire width, right? So paragraph is therefore a block element. Image. Actually, it's not image, it is h3, right? So it is therefore taking the block element. But if I put the actual image, see, it is not taking the entire space. It is only taking what image size it is. So an image is an inline element. What is an inline element? An element that takes only that space which it requires and leaves up the other space for other things. Okay, that is an inline element. So if you see, if now here I've selected image. Okay, so if you see the width here in this top, the highlighted part, if you see the width here, you will see that it is 1600 into 840. So it is only taking 1600 pixel of your screen, although it must be, it may be something like let's say from here in div, if I showing now here, yeah, it was something like 1800, 1864, but now it is taking only 1600 pixels. So that is taking only that much of space which it needs. It will not take the other one. Okay, then we have again h3, then we have ol. So I go to ol. See, it is taking the entire space. It is a block element. And anyway, if you are putting things in the list one below the other, why do you need something like, why do you need any space to add things on the right side of that, right? So therefore it is a block element. Then we go to something that is different from these things, that is an anchor tag. So if you see that, only if I click on anchor tag, or if I put my cursor on anchor tag, it is taking only 129 into 17 pixel. So that is the space required to write the text relation to statistics. Therefore, we call it as an inline element. It is only taking that much of space which it requires. And that is the reason early usage is coming right after it. That was not happening with things like additional information or anything which h3 or any element that was block. That was not happening with it, right? And that's why you cannot put a block beside inline. You can put only inline element beside inline, because the other element, if that is block, that will need the entire space. That will not be able to come in that space. Are you getting what I said just now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so am I making sense? Am I making a proper difference between block and inline elements?
So in block inline element, like I can give the example of headings and paragraph, right?
Yes, no, in block element, headings and paragraphs are examples of a block elements because they take up the entire space of the width or their parent element. Right, the inline elements take only that much space which that much they require. Only that much space is taken by the inline elements. So the link, image are all these inline elements.
Okay, sir, it's clear now.
All right. So that is the reason this inline, both anchor that I've added here, page 2, page 3, both are inline element. That is the reason this relation to statistics only that much way, 129.77 pixels were taken as width. Then the rest of the 1500 plus pixel was still remaining, which can be taken by other inline element. That's why we put early usage, and that without any issue came right beside that. All right.
So there is one particular doubt. The heading tag h3, let's say, is taking the width of the parent div tag, while the anchor tag is not taking the width of the parent div tag.
Yeah, because it is inline. That's what. So it has a parent div of this, right? Div with id container 3 is the parent of this anchor tag, but it will not take its entire space because that particular element by itself is an inline element. We call it inline. Why? Because all the inline elements can come inline. They don't need to go to next line unless and until the width is over.
Yes, okay.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, how do we make any element inline and or block?
Yeah. So that can be done. So by default, I have defined certain the display property. That is where display property comes into picture, right? So when I say block element, inline element, what is it? It is their default display property. If I talk about a div tag has a default display property of block. An anchor tag has a default display property of inline. Okay. Now these there are some certain advantages and certain disadvantages of each. Okay, a block element, a block element, block element is taking the entire width. Okay, therefore it will not allow other elements to come in its place, right? Therefore it has the what we say, it has the authority to move anywhere within this place, right? So if this selected part, if you see blue color, this data science wiki and this page gives information on data science are currently on the left of the page. But can I put them in the center? Yes. Can I put them on the right? Yes. Why? Because that is their own space place. So it's like a home, right? I have a home of 2-bedroom, hall and kitchen, and that is my block. Okay. Can I go to other rooms? Yes. So that is the idea. So the advantage of a block element is that it can take, or it can, the data, the content of that block can go to any part of that block or any part of the space that is assigned to that block. Whereas in anchor tag, we have defined the space only which is there. There is only one bedroom. Okay. Can I go to another home's bedroom? No. So that is the disadvantage of an inline element. Okay. What is the advantage of inline element? It will allow other inline element to come just beside it. Okay, and that proves as the disadvantage of a block element. It will not allow, even though this data science wiki is taking very less space and it can give this other space to other element, there is a scope, but it will not. So that is the disadvantage. So getting the advantages, disadvantages, what one does and one cannot do. You're getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now you need to make a hybrid. Take the advantage of block, take the advantages of inline and mix them. What would you call to that block property? There is a property called inline. There is a property called block. You want to mix both. What do you call that property?
Inline block.
Inline block. That's it. So it will take space of an inline element, allow other inline element to come in, all right, and can move in the entirety of the space allotted to it. So advantages of both. So there we put display as inline block. Getting this? All right. So just to give an example of that, a very less time to put the styling, but okay. So here is an image, right? This image is an inline element. Okay, this image is an inline element. So what this inline element will do, it can allow other inline element to come in its place. Okay. It had image been a block element, it would not have allowed. Okay, so now somebody wanted this text, this part, to come beside the image, right? So I'll try to do that now. For that, so this image is an inline element. What inline element does? It allows another inline element. For that, so if I want something to be on the right of this image, the display property of that image should be inline. Did you get this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. But whatever was right was being written inside the paragraph was block, right? So it will not allow other to come. It will not go in other space, right? So that we need to change. So we need to overwrite its property with inline. So what I'll do is I'll try to do that. See, this image is very big. Okay, let's go to another page where the image is smaller. Yeah, so this we are getting here much better place here. So if I see here, here I'll open this developer tool. So if I see the image and see, so see if from here, if you can see my cursor, if you go to each and every element, that particular element gets highlighted, right? This is very easy. But what if I have a very big, what we call a very big web page where I don't know where to target? Let's say for this, for example, this is Google. Okay, if I go to the developer tool, see this very big web page. I don't know, and if I want to target this part, search Google URL, this part, I need to search where it is, right? Where it is. Okay, because there is these
choose the
things
element
also.
click karna.
Sorry,
There's an element click karna, the bounce button, just go there, click there.
that's what. See, so here is this one. So if you can you see this part? So if I select this and simply click on this, it will take me to that part where this is designed or where this is put, right? This is other way of doing it. So from
Sir,
code, yeah.
so can you repeat where do we have to go?
This one, this. Can you see my pointer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You
No.
click on that, select it, and then you select to that part where you want to go. Let's say I want to locate where this Gmail, no, this Gmail, I want to locate where this Gmail is in my HTML document. Just click on that and it will take you to that part. See, text Gmail.
Yes, sir.
Getting
Got
this
it.
part, right? So similarly, we'll do with R. So if I want to go to image, I'll select this and select image. See, it will take me to that image. Okay, so this is the advantage of this particular, and this is for responsiveness. We don't want to talk about this for now. The second part, just just beside on the left side of elements, right? So this is for toggling the device. So if I want to work, I want to design a web page for mobile phones, I'll click on this and then change things like that. Okay, so I'm now on I'm on the image. Okay, and then I want to, let's say I want to go on this paragraph second. Okay, this is the paragraph. Okay, now what I'll do is, and this is where you can individually, this element.style, no, this is where you can individually change the styling of that particular element. So what I'll do is I'll just change its display. See, it will show me certain things, right? Block, contents, flex, this. What I'll do currently, by default, my paragraph is a default block element. That's why it is having block, but I can make it inline. Okay, so the moment I make it inline, I'll go back to my place. Okay, this is the image. Let's say we'll go to page 2. What was that? Page 2, right? Relationship with statistics. Yeah, so this was the page 2. This is the image, and this is my paragraph. What I'll do is I'll cut this paragraph from here and put it right below, because I want it towards right. So I'll put it right below and change its property from, sorry, change its display property. Here I don't want to add an inline. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just give an ID to this paragraph. Okay, I'll give ID and put it as inline para. Okay, this is the ID for my this particular paragraph. Okay, now I'll give style to this paragraph. Okay, how will I target that particular paragraph? Inline para. Did I give any no, I did. So inline para, but it is not an element, it is ID, so hash, right? Inline para, and I'll change its display property to inline. That is all. So if I go back to this page and run it, not this page, here. So if I run this, yeah. So can you see this paragraph coming right beside it? Okay, this paragraph is coming right. This paragraph has come right below it, right? And then I want it to be here. I want it to be on the right. So simply, what? So the display, yeah, so the display has changed where we are on para ID. Correct. Yeah. So we are here. We have changed, put the ID. We have changed the display, and then we can do it by going to this part. Our what we say, the developer tools. Okay. So this ID is having the tools, and this is one para. This is another image, and this is the third para. So what is happening with the third para? Let us see from here. So its style is still remaining as block. Why? Let me change this. So can you see this? This has come here. Okay, this has come here. Now there is some changes more we need to do, and it will be there. So let us go where. Okay. See, the problem is now there is one problem with this. What is happening? What did I say about inline element, that it will take up that much space. It will take up that much space which it requires, right? So if I keep on writing and writing and writing, it will take entire space, right? It will take the entire space. For that, I need to also reduce the size. Okay, so again here, if I write width, okay, and then write it, let's say 100 pixel. Okay, 100 pixel. Let's see what happens. So the display becomes inline, and the width of that block becomes 100 pixel. Okay, it's still not coming, right? Why is this not coming? Can anyone tell me?
Do we have to refresh it once again?
No, see, whatever I'm doing here is getting refreshed.
So like you'll have to reduce the width to 50 because we don't want it to consume all of the space. So that's why we if we just divide it by 2, like only 50%, so we just take the right side first.
No, see, this is 100 pixel, not 100%.
I mean, like,
right?
yes, like 50 pixel, then
No, see, if 100
Your alignment is off.
Sorry,
Alignment.
alignment doesn't matter. Will alignment matter? Alignment will not matter. Okay, what if I do this? Inline block. See, it came here, right? And now I want it to stretch the entirety of remaining. So I'll increase. So you're getting what's happening here. So my content became here. Okay. And the width, what I'm taking is, okay, let me go back to that. What was the width I was taking? Yeah, it was 195 pixel. Okay. So let's make it, increase it. Let's see till where it goes, then we'll change it. So see here, you can dynamically change width and things and then see what happens.
So why did it require 100 pixel width there? Now it's requiring like 1,000.
Sorry.
So like before you put 100 pixel and it was taking the whole space, the browser space. Now
No, it wasn't taking the whole space. At 100, it was taking only this much.
No, like
only this much.
When it was below it, like it was taking the whole space.
No, so when it was below it, it was not taking width at all. See, width is a property of block statement. See what I said. See, this statement on inline block is inline element is very important. It will take that much space till its content is there, right? So this, if it is a one line content that is taking the entire screen, it will definitely take that much space. Okay, so this Stanford Professor David Donohono, so it starts with Stanford and ends with statistics, right? So if I write it down just the way this paragraph is written, how much space this paragraph is taking from here till here, and here it could not accommodate, therefore the screen forced it to go to the next line, right? So it was taking the entire space that was required by the paragraph. Okay, here, therefore, things like width don't apply to inline elements. Okay, you cannot assign your own width, your defined width to an inline element. It will take width by itself. If the paragraph is very long, there is no chance that you can provide a small width and get the paragraph done smaller. To do that, what did I do? I took an advantage of a block property, right? So therefore, making display inline block will take the advantage of block which has width as a property. Correct. You can set a width of block element. You cannot set a width of inline element. This is one statement. Correct. And the other statement is inline will take that much space till where it contains goes, right? So,
Sir, for the image is an inline element, right?
yes.
But we can specify the width of the image, like how much ever we want, like.
Yeah, so image width you can specify. So see, once the image width is specified, image becomes small. Let's say if I reduce the width of image from whatever it is, let's say if I select this and say, so the image is, okay, let me again go. So if I select on image and move here, I'll get a glimpse of AFC. So it is 1024 into 440, right? So if I decrease the or change the width of image to 800 pixel, let's say 800 into 440, how much space that image will take? 800. Then the width will decrease. So it's not, the width of image is not defined because it is a block inline element. Okay, image will anyway become inline because image will have its own width and height, right? You can define the width of image, but you cannot define the width of content, the text.
So you're saying that we in image we are not defining the width of the the block or something, like it's an inline element, so we can't, it's just the image width that is getting defined, not the thing on the screen or the, am I right?
Yeah, so see what I'm trying to say here is when you change the width of image, see,
Yeah.
you compare an image with this word Stanford. Okay, you can change the width of image. Can you change the width of Stanford and still spell it as Stanford?
Okay, okay.
Getting it?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
text will take its space. See, every character will take certain space which you cannot reduce.
Okay.
Images
The
are
image is
flexible in that.
considered itself as an element in itself, like.
Yeah.
And that with this we specify the element with here, but in case of the para or the thing word text, we cannot specify its width.
Yeah, so you cannot compress Stanford into
Okay.
4 words or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Got it. So
Okay.
image, when you are setting the width of image, the image as in the entire image width is getting reduced. Okay, so if the image itself becomes from 800 from let's say 1000, if there is a loss of 200 pixel in image itself, the inline element which is defining the image is bound to take only 800 pixel, not more than that.
Okay.
Right, that is
Yeah.
flexible in image, but in letter or in the paragraph, every letter is having a fixed space. So if I want to write Stanford Professor, unless I change the font size, I will not be able to set a width for that. Whereas in block element, I can set the width. So making the style of this image, this particular element as inline block will give me the advantage of setting width in a block element. Okay, so see, display making inline. What advantage I'm having by this inline? I can put this paragraph towards the right of image, even though paragraph is a block element. Okay, so that disadvantage of block element is getting overwritten by the advantage of inline. Okay, but if an element is inline, you cannot set the width. So that disadvantage of an inline element is getting overwritten by the property of block. So they are like complementary to each other. The disadvantages of one are overwritten by the advantages of the other. All right. Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. We are getting it.
Okay. Now one more problem still remains is that why is this part coming down, not up? Right. So it will take the high maximum width. If the width for this paragraph is less and the width of this image is more, it will take the width of image. Okay, now if I keep on copying this, let's say I'll go back to this replet, and this is the thing, right? So if I keep on copying it,
Sir,
okay,
maybe we'll have to define height as well. Is it so?
yeah, but you cannot do that for the writing, right? The paragraph you cannot do that. See,
Okay, okay.
right? So again, what happened? It is taking the entire width. What I need to do, and why this came back here? I had said something right from here, and then why did it come back here? This is because things are happening temporarily in developer window. You'll have to set it again. Okay, so if I want to permanent this change, I'll make changes here in the style.css. Okay, so I'll make it inline block. Okay, and then set the width to 800 pixel. Okay, so with this, let us run and see.
Sir, have you linked the style sheet?
Sorry,
Have you linked the style sheet?
I have not. Thank you very much. I have not. Yeah, so we are going to we were working on page 3, right? But yeah, very good point. I did not link the style sheet. How will the styles be embedded in the in my output? In developer tools, it knows, okay, we are talking about this, but here it won't know. So here we need to link the style sheet. Okay, link. So the relation is style sheet, and the href is similar to the one there which we have right here src and things like that. Here we define what are we actually referring to. It will be style.css. That's it. So if I run this, so are we working on page 2 only? No, what was this page? Let me reload and see. Yeah, this was the page. Okay, so see, the entire content is coming on the right as you wanted, right? But still it is taking that space which is higher. I think this is clear now.
So I have a question. Like we don't need a style sheet because we can just write P, anchor tag P, style equals display and everything. In that paragraph only we can do inline CSS. We don't need a separate style sheet for this, right?
Yeah, because this is only one or two stylings that you are doing. But the one which I showed before, for that I guess you'll need.
No, like here if you remove ID and instead to display and everything style, if you use style attribute.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. How will I do that? I'll do like this.
Like I
Uh,
tried.
yeah, I'll just put like this style equals to colon. Okay, colon, and add everything here. Display equals to this and this and this. Right, but this makes the code messier. That's why I don't do that. It is therefore always recommended to have a style sheet linked externally rather than using inline.
So if we had like two images here, so we
Hmm.
cannot use the same ID, right, for that image.
For anything, for not only for image, for anything, two different entities or elements will not have same ID.
But if I convert it into a class, then I can use it for every other element here.
Yeah. So whoever elements has that class will be designed along accordingly.
But so that there's no use of ID because it'd be better to have a class because then we can put it anywhere, like if we change our mind or anything. So ID is
It is
not.
it is very subjective. See, you are thinking on this way, see, right? Because we are trying to design 2 to 3 items at one point. So in that case, ID is not beneficial. Okay, but what if What if I wanted to give this is technology. So you look at here, this linear regression I want in red color, logistic in blue, decision in green, and cluster in yellow. How would you do that?
We can make different classes for that.
So that's equal to making different IDs.
But in future, if we change our mind, we can just use the same class and we won't have to, like create another ID for that.
The same thing is happening with ID, right? So it's better to target one thing with one ID rather than target one thing with one class.
So can we have, is there inheritance in CSS? Like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
class with multiple IDs, like inside a class, can we specify different IDs?
Yeah, we can.
Single ID with multiple classes, right?
Single ID with multiple classes, no issue with that.
Sir, actually, I have a question regarding the assignment that we're going to submit. So just one question, which is that in the assignment sheet, it has been told that no CSS should be used in the HTML while you're submitting.
Yeah.
Now, but if anyone creates a table, for instance, then the border is not there by default while writing the table in HTML. So inline or a internal CSS like style, that border is equal to 5 pixel, that is allowed, right, in the assignment?
No, that is not allowed.
So, but then we submit the table without any border.
See, the thing is, I'm not sure if it is marked, but it is okay. But the thing is, you see, there are certain attributes in HTML also. Let's say when we talk about this div, no, not div. Okay, this image. Okay, so this src, alt, or these are the attributes which are confined to HTML only. These are not CSS attributes.
Correct.
Similarly, for creating border of a table, there are attributes defined in HTML only.
So
Okay,
we use that instead of the
that
style.
can be used. Yes. So you need to look into the web and see how that is done.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So see again, if I talk about another example, so see there is things like B. So if I write B here and end with B here, not B, B. Okay. So what is this page? Page 2. See, I got this statisticians, right? Bold.
Right.
This is the HTML way of bolding things. There is another way of bolding things by CSS. Right? So this is how you should think of table.
So in the submission, is it required that we have to have a border in the table, or if we use the default table, there is no border?
Hey, I don't know what is exactly given in the question statement.
Okay.
So I guess if you go through that in one or two times more, if you're getting that, okay, you need to do this, then do it. If
No,
you're
there is
getting
no
that, okay.
mention. There is no mention. It's just told that no CSS is allowed. So that is why I wanted to clarify that inline or internal is allowed or not.
Yeah, see. So the thing is, if you want to put border with border property of CSS, I guess that will not be graded to you. It means your marks can get cut because that will be use of CSS.
Okay.
Right. So if you find the other way around and how to do things in HTML, I think that will be considered. See, some certain designs can be given with HTML also, but the thing was HTML is primitive than CSS.
Right.
Okay, so we defined things in HTML before. Okay, and since they were a bit cumbersome in solving, we made similar things in CSS. So it's not that if it is not happening, the simple things like border and all are not happening due to CSS, they cannot be done. That is not the thing.
Because I have not found any attribute for table where we are able to create.
No, you need to work around. So this is an assignment and that to grade it. So I will not be able to help you that much way.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, so you need to work around.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that can be done.
Understood.
Okay, so is this fine? Let me add certain CSS here. We already were. Yeah.
Sir, I'm still stuck at that point where the height of the page is still bigger than the total height of the paragraph.
So you reduce the image height of the image. See, in CSS, we can not only target with we can target an individual image also, right? So let me see how much it is. So if I select, go to developer tools here and select this image. Yeah, so how much it is? 1024 by 440. Can you reduce it to 400? We can, right? So image, done. See?
Okay, I got it.
Right, so reduce the height of image, add more, or either add more content in paragraph. But it's better to reduce height of image. Why? Because see, so if I go to inspect here and I go to style and I reduce, so if I go to, so first need to select image. So I selected image here, I go to style. Okay, just pardon for the background noise if you hear anything. Okay, so here if I give height, sorry, HT, okay, and then it was 400, right? So I'll first give 400 pixel. Where is it? Okay, so what is happening here? This is 40. Yeah, so 400. What I can do is I can reduce it by 400 a bit little so that I can pixel by pixel reduction of size. Okay, once I said, okay, these paragraphs and images are now matching at what height? 390. So I can fix it to 390 here. This is the advantage of using developer tools. You can see the dynamic changes here and they may then make corrections in the main file. Are you guys having a different session here after this? Or
No, sir.
who is having, like or you may not be having, is there other people who are having different session or no session today? Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, I can see, like I can hear a buzzing sound, that's why I'm asking.
Someone's microphone is not working.
Okay, maybe just a minute. Okay, who is not mute? Sridhar, can you mute, or are you, were you talking now? I'm sorry
Yes, sir.
if you were talking now. Yes,
Yes, sir.
everyone is mute, I guess, and there is no noise now. Okay, so are you clear up to this? So someone wanted things to be on the right of image. See, this is how you should do it. Okay, you need to work around with the block display property and make it inline block. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm saying. No, so there is another session, right? Few have left for their session. Yeah, so Krishna, what session is it? Do you know?
It's MLT, sir. Machine
Okay,
learning,
fine.
sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I'll take another 10 minutes of your time to just add certain designs. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'll go to home page because I don't want to add design to that thing, but I want to add design to this page. Okay, so now what I'll do is I want to set width of each and everything and set all the things in the center. Okay, so I'll go to this my style.css, and then if I talk about index.html. So here, what I want things to be aligned in center. So I'll target this div because if I do this things with this div, everything will, this whatever styling I give here will be applied to each and everything, right? So I'll go to style and enter simply div. Okay, but this will happen with every div. This will happen with every div. For that I need to add an ID. Okay, for this div. So write main. So this is the main div, right? So I'll add this in other pages also. Right. Yeah. I'll go to again. Okay, so I got this other div. Now I need to target that main, and since that was an ID, I'll write main, that is main with hash, and assign it a width. I can directly assign width. Why? Because it is div, right? So it is a block element. So let me give a width of, let's say, 800 pixel for now, and then we'll see what happens there. Okay, just a minute.
Style sheet is sir, not linked.
Oh my god, why am I forgetting that? Just a minute. So it was page 3, right? Where we added page 2. Index. Okay, and page 3, it's not there. Page 2, it was there. Yeah. Yeah, so first we change the width. Okay, got the width accordingly. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to do something with this paragraph. Wait, why this image is not coming in proper is this thing? Let me see. So we have to target this image. So that is coming in container 2. In container 2 has width of 800 pixel, but this image so this is the other container. But what about image? Yeah, it's 742.84. So it's already small, so we need to make it big. Yeah, so now everything is aligned. Now what I want to do is I want to make everything in center, and then this text also I'll justify a bit. Okay, so if I put everything in center, I need to hello. Yeah, somebody wants to ask. Hello. Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, see, if one way of doing is this, you go to inspect. Okay, and then you go to margin, and not only margin, because we want to add margin from this side such that it comes up in the center, right? So we'll give margin left. Okay, just a minute. Margin left. Okay, and then we'll increase it how much it is. So I see. Can you see this? The data is moving towards the right. Okay, but okay, I will do this first. Okay, so let's say at 504 pixel, it is at the center, not 504, 550. Okay, at 550 pixel, it is at the center. It is looking center at the center. No issues with that. Okay, so 550 pixel, it is at the center for the screen whose width is 1880 width, right? So for this thing only, for the screen only whose width is 1880, it will be center, right? Again, it depends if the width of content is more than 800, because we have set it to 800, right? So it is more or less than 800. Again, we'll have to set the margin, right, accordingly to make things in center. Right, so that is a headache. Every time the application or this page opens in a different size screen, its margin will not be same in either side, right? Because I'm setting a raw margin from left, okay, which is defined for this screen only. What if I want that the margin gets the content gets automatically settled in center, giving equal margin from both the sides, right? So for that, what I'll do is, so this is happening on entire content, right? So what I'll do this, I'll again target this main and write margin. So instead of setting it to 550 pixel, which I came to know from developer tool, I'll set it to auto. Okay, setting margin to auto will make it center irrespective of what width you are keeping. So it is defined for all type of screens, right? So it will become, see, just a minute. Yeah, so this is loaded, and now this is center defined for all types of screen. Okay, so I don't need to worry about what was the width of screen or how it will look in phones and things like that. Right, so you want to check this, you go to inspect, okay, and then you see here, see, these are the various screen ratios. So if I put here, it is mobile S 320 pixel, this is mobile M, this is mobile L, this is tablet, this is laptop. So if I put it here, see, it is again in center. If I put it here, it is again in center. So things, that is what we are looking at. And here, 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 right? So it is center irrespective of what type of screen you're using. So we'll go back to this, and it was 1880 before. We'll reduce that. 1880.
So the margin makes the element in center, right? Not exactly the content of the element.
Yeah, it makes the element in the center. That's why I've applied it in the div, the
Okay,
div.
okay.
I've applied it on the div, right? Which
Yes,
is
sir.
targeted
Got
by
it.
the ID main. Okay, now I want
So
to, yeah.
could we also apply it for the body tag?
Yes, you can apply it for the body tag, no issues with that. But see, why did I make div at the first place? Because I did not want to make changes in the body tag. Right, head tag and body tag are something which are defining only the which are separating only the understand the displayed part and non-displaying part of the HTML document. So I don't want to design or set any design in the body or head. That is the reason I made an individual div tag, so that all the stylings that I want to add in the entire document should be applied to that div instead of body.
Okay.
Right. So you can do that with body, but I don't want to make changes, any change in body. That's why I'm keeping body as it is. Right. So it is a personal change. You can do it on body. No issues with that. Now what I want to do is I want to justify this content, right? So I just want to justify this content. How would I do that? And this justification of content is to be done on paragraphs, right? All the paragraphs. So I can go to style and select all paragraphs. Okay. And change it with text align, right? Text align. And what we need to do it is justify. So once we are done with this, our content will be justified. See, can you see it here? Yeah, and this is more better look of our web page.
So it
And
applies to
see,
all the
sorry.
So it applies to all the paragraphs.
Yeah, all the paragraphs. So if you're selecting an element, so if you're targeting an element, it will target all the elements that are there. Right. And since, see, the one advantage of creating same structure document everywhere is that if I go to relation to statistics page, see, everything is happening here. Whatever is happening to that page is happening here also. I go to early usage page, everything is happening here. So I don't need to give stylings to each and every page unless I want to make some other changes in this page. Right.
Yes.
So that is happening here also. Yeah.
So like I have one doubt, like I did the same, I changed the width of the whole div tag, whole paragraph, but it's showing yellow color triangle bonding sign on the web browser that it's not changing its width basically.
Yeah. So that the thing is not applicable to that particular element is what it is showing. Why is it showing that? Which element you're trying to do?
The same thing you did, like the whole page basically.
Okay.
So div tag on like the whole thing.
Okay. So what you're saying is it is showing here, right?
Yes.
Here it is showing.
Yeah.
Uh,
parent div tag is showing.
Okay, what is the style did you give?
Style. I haven't given anything. I just changed the width only, and
Yeah, but how did you target?
I had like external style sheet,
Hmm.
and so I just wrote like main as my ID, and just wrote width equals 700 pixels. Just that only.
Whatever you have done is written here. This main same thing you have done.
Yes, sir. Just I've only written width only, like main width and then curly bracket like closed.
Yeah, so there is no margin auto.
No,
Okay, no issues with margin auto anyway. But what is it showing? It is not applying.
no, it's showing it's like cutting width like with the like this is stroke like it's cutting with 800 and showing yellow color triangle like warning.
Okay, so
Have
what is
you
the
have you used equal to sign instead of the colon?
Equal. Oh, okay, right.
okay, so that was the issue. Okay, so some syntactical error. Okay. So yeah, so in CSS you need to see even it is about the commenting also. See, if I want to comment this part of CSS, see the way it is commented is slash and star. Okay. So if I want to do the same with HTML part and comment this, see how it gets comments. The open angle exclamation hyphen hyphen and then hyphen hyphen close. Even the commenting in CSS and HTML changes. So you need to be very specific about certain syntax here, certain syntax, not each and everything, but these are very basic syntax, right? So how stylings are given and all. So how you differentiate the attribute with its value, right? So in CSS it is different, in HTML it is different. In HTML, see, we are giving everywhere, we are giving equals to, right? So this is the attribute of that element and equals to it is the value. But in CSS, we are giving colon. And thanks for pointing that out, right? So I would not have come to that part because we are checking only the concept here and not the syntax. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Actually,
Okay,
I've
so
also made that same mistake.
okay,
That's why.
fine. Yeah, so you learn from your experiences. That is the thing. All right. So can you get the same thing now? Are you getting the width now?
Yes, sir. But like the top part, yeah, I'm getting it. Like the whole structures. Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay. All right. So see now our this page is taking certain a similar look to what I've created before. The only thing that we need to add is some color here. Okay, change some font here and there and some color here. Okay. So that is what we'll do and we'll do it very quickly. Okay. So I'll go to style again. Okay. And then just see now the section that I've created will come handy, right? Because I want to color only these part which is heading and subheading. I can select only that part which is heading and subheading, right? It is container one, so I can simply go on and select the container one. So I've already written it. I need to just assign something. Okay, so what is that I wanted to assign was the color, right? Color. So the color I'll take light because I want to give a dark color, right? And dark color background color is given by the attribute background color. Okay, so this background color is similar to a bluish shade. We can use navy here. See this navy, it gives me color, right? It gives me directly the small square preview of how the color looks. Now if I want to change the color, I can simply do it here. I don't know how to do it. Wait. See, so what happens is, what I'm trying to do here is, if you click on this color, it will give you another window where you can manually change the color. Okay, but if that is not happening, so currently sometimes things happen in Replit, sometimes things don't happen. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so if I want to change a color, I want to make a darker shade of this color. What I'll do, I can simply give the RGB values. Yes, see now it came, right? So now since it came, I can simply do it darker one, right? So if I move it here, even in a darker shade, yeah, that's it. So see here it is getting the RGB color, and which is the darker. How did it come? Okay, you need to you need to put your cursor in the entire background color thing. Okay, fine. Right. So this is the color. Now if I run this, let's see what happens. That's it, right? So you're getting a good dark color in the background and white text. The reason being why I took white text is the dark background. Okay. Now the thing is, see this data science wiki. This page gives information. This thing is very sticking to the left part of my this thing, right? This block. It is sticking to the left part. For giving a certain space between that, we need to go to developer tools and see what we can do. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll target this. So let's say we are in the first container. Okay, now the first container, if I select this, every stylings or all the properties of that container will come up here. And one thing is the box model. Okay, one thing that comes up is the box model. So here you can see that there is 800 into 85438 is something that is the area of the content, the main content, the block that is there. Okay, this 85.438 is defined by certain things which are defined by the text and whatever we are writing, but this 800 is fixed. Why? Because we have given that width. Now I want certain space between this data science wiki and the outer part, right? So first what I'll do is I'll add a border to it. Okay, I'll add a border to it. How did I do that? I'll do it with, first I'll do it with the developer tools itself. Okay, and then we can simply add the things. Okay, so since I selected the same thing, the div1, what we'll do it, we'll give a border. Okay, first we need to give border style. So border style can be dashed, dotted, and things like that. All right, but we will want solid. So I want a solid border style. Then we need to make this border available to us. Look, like we need to define how thick it is. So for that, what we'll do, we'll give a border width. Okay, and then I'll give something like 2 pixel. Okay, and then finally when I give the border color, it will be visible to me. So it will be border color. Okay, and let me give it red. Okay, so it's not coming. Why? Just a minute. Because it is not border, it's border. Yeah, so it's border color, right? So now I got the three things, and now I can see that the border is visible here. Okay, so here if I see in the box model, I'll see there is a border of 2 pixel. How did we come up with this number 2? Because we have given here, right, border width 2 pixel. So this will define the width of the border. Now what is padding? I got the main content, okay, 796.126.78 border. Okay, understood. But what is padding? So this padding is the difference or the space between the actual content and the border. Okay, actual content and the border. Okay, so how will I do that? I'll simply give it, I'll simply add in the next line. Yeah, done. Yeah, so we'll give padding. Okay, now this padding can be given individually at every side, right? So if I want padding only from left side, I can write padding slash or hyphen left. Okay, padding left, and start with 1 pixel and keep on increasing the way you want. See, can you see the data is getting shifted here? Let's give it a 15 pixel padding left. Now, if you see the box model, can you see here? It's 2 border, and since we have given padding of 15 pixel on the left, it is showing 15 here, and the other numbers are not given because we have not defined any padding. All right, so this is how you do it. So same now, these are the temporary changes, right? I want to make these changes permanent. So I'll select this, and this was happening with our first container, right? So this will paste it here.
Sorry, sir. Can you show padding again? Like,
yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. So what was happening? See, this data science and wiki, right? Initially, there was no padding. Right. So what happened? See, this data science got stuck with the border. Now, if I want this thing to appear, like I want certain space between the content and the border, I will give a padding. Okay, so you need to understand the box model. What is box model? There is a main content. There is border. Okay, so there is a block has a border. Okay, so the main content is that part where there is text. Okay, so text is the main content, or image, or whatever it is, the information that is useful, right? So that is the main content. So the area between the main content and the border is called padding.
And so, like, if there's a hyphen, then that means it's 0, right?
Where it is? Yeah, it's not there. It's not defined. It's not 0. It's not defined. It is
And
not defined by the user, creator, developer, jo bhi. Anyway.
And so, like, when I talk about the div tag, I did the main part thing, like I changed the width of it, but it didn't change the width of those paragraphs where I use container 1, container 2, container 3 ID tags. So it did not apply the width part there, but everywhere else.
Sorry. Can you repeat again? What did you do?
So, like, when I had that parent div tag, so I just applied width equals to 800, but it applied it everywhere with part, but it didn't apply it to those paragraphs where I use PID equals to main, equals to container 1 or container 2, container 3. So in those IDs, the width didn't change at all. Like,
okay.
when I used IDs, like, it didn't change, but where I did
but
not.
it changed, right? It should change, right? Because see, the div main, it should be the parent, but it should not be the sibling.
But it did not. I think its child one is takes more precedence, like whatever with the container one is taking, maybe, I don't know.
No, it's not like that. Unless, see, unless you are applying any pseudo selector, nothing will happen. Things will go on with everything. Every element is treated same way, right? So there is no first child or second child thing like here.
Then why is
See,
it happening?
See, the first thing should be when see this main, no, this is the parent of all the other things. So these have to take the width of parent. These will have to. Doesn't matter. See, even my this div is having container 1 ID here, but it is taking the width of the parent main, right? So it has to.
What if container one has its own width defined?
Yeah, so if the width is defined, and the width is defined after defining the width of parent, it has to, it will overwrite it.
Then why is it working for me? Like,
Again, you need to check the equals to sign and all. Have you checked that?
yes, sir.
Okay. So, and the container one, all the things, that paragraph and all, are they child or the children of the main div?
Yes, sir. I haven't created IDs though. Like, I haven't created container 1, container 2, container 3 yet. But,
For the paragraphs.
yeah, but I've just written.
It's paragraph PID or div ID. Sir has defined it as div ID. You have to check that as well. Not PID, it's div ID container.
Yeah, it's div ID.
No, it's okay. You just need to check your code.
Yeah, I think it's syntax.
Okay.
I didn't use space.
Yeah. So if you're still facing the problem, just send a screenshot of your code on this course. Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much.
So one more doubt, sir. This box model, the colors that they give, in the assignment, they've given the box model. These colors are just representation, right?
Yeah. These will only represent. See, the same thing. Sorry. So see, the main content in the box model is shown in blue.
Okay.
Right. So similarly, the content that is there on your web page is shown on blue.
Okay.
So
this
padding.
Is only for the evaluation thing that this colors are given, right? Like,
this is only for our understanding. Okay. Okay. So if you see the padding should be whatever is shown on the web page in green is the padding.
Okay.
So similar representation, right? Here on the box model, here in the bottom left, and the main content. So if I go to padding, you see that only a small green vertical strip comes up, which shows that this is padding. Right. In border, it should be yellow. So see, a yellow thing comes up, although it is not that visible, but it is yellow. Right. Margin is not there, therefore it is not there. Now see, if I go to the main div here, so I've set the width, that is 800,
Okay.
but the main div is taking the entire, right? It is not taking the entire now because I've set the width. So whatever remains is becomes the margin.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So here this margin is shown by cream color. It is orangish cream. So therefore we are having cream color here. So it is just a representation. Don't have to worry about what color is there. Okay. Specifically when we are talking about HTML, when it is CSS, colors on the color palette are the ones that you have to use. Don't have to worry about box model.
Okay. The
Correct?
box model is what we should get in the when we inspect the page.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So see. So more or less we are done. More or less we are done. So this might have happened for other things also. See. Yeah. Relationship with statistics. Okay, so here some changes with the image, some things that is happening with, okay, what is the problem here? What is the problem here? Can anyone tell me what is the problem here?
So the width is more actually, and you have given the width is more.
Oh, that is okay. Width has to adjust by itself.
Justify. We have given the like padding in the beginning, or
Hmm.
no, not padding. Like
See, the padding is given to only this. Why everything is getting the padding?
It needs right padding.
Yeah, it needs right padding. Okay, but this is not happening with other
because
pages.
that div is probably the parent of like the other div.
See, entire structure was same, right?
Yeah.
Why is it happening with this page?
Closing tag.
Closing tag. Yeah, somebody mentioned that, sir. If the closing tag is not given, nothing will impact. So this is the impact. In the third page, the page 3.html, I've deleted the div ending div somewhere, right? So the entire styling got applied to everything that is there. So my div would be here. If I do this, see the div is closed. Didn't matter when no styling was given, but mattered when styling was given, right? Let me try to see and reload. See, everything set. So this was the issue. So the whoever asked this question, if he's present, I hope this is understood now.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that was the issue. So closing tags are very equally important if the tag is not self-closing. Right. So now we are done with most of the thing. The only thing is remaining is, see, there is one more designing. The same designing is brought here in the bottom. I hope you will be able to do this now. So I won't show that. All right. One more thing is my edges were curved, right? My edges were curved. So I'll show that later on. But one more thing that I need to show, which is important, is this. So when I was showing that my web page, which I created before, the links were in white color. Okay, and they were not underlined. But as soon as you make a certain text link, it will have this blue color thing and underline. Right? How to get rid of that? That is the thing. Right? So you might want to make a certain part of text as a link, but you don't want that link. It should not look like a link. That is the thing that we want, right? So what happens is when you make a part of text link, certain decoration that makes it or that shows it, okay, this is a link, by default comes in, that we need to remove. Okay, so how we do that? And this is happening especially for anchor tags, right? So we'll select A. Okay, if we select A, what we will do, we'll change the color of this first. In our case, so the thing that I made before had blue color, so that's why I made them white. Here it is already white, so you can see it here, right? So here it is already, the background is already white, so I'll change the color. I'll make it, let's say, this brown. Okay, this brown. This is one thing. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so my text color became brown, but still the underline and things are there. Okay, so how to get rid of that? Just write this. So that's what I said. Certain decorations are being applied when you convert a text into link. So you need to undo this decoration by writing this text decoration to none. So if I reload this, everything is gone, right? So this is the thing. So if I reload this also, yeah, so this is the, so we got the thing, right? So there is only one thing that is remaining, the curved part here and the font, the curved part here and the font. Okay, so I'll not show you the curved part. I can, like, I'll put a part on discourse on how to put the curved part. This is actually the border radius property. Okay, so you can search on it. It is a border radius property and how it is applied. One thing that I want to literally put here is adding a font. Okay, how do I add font? I go to, let's say I go to Google. This is Google open, right, with developer tools. Let me remove this. So I'll go to Google and I'll write Google fonts. Very good website to give n number of fonts, right? So there's various fonts, See, this is Google fonts. All right. So I'll select one. Let's say more website looking font. Let's say this Ubuntu. Okay. How to select this? So I want this, right? So select this style. Okay. If you go to select this style, its style sheet is being shown here, right? See, style sheet is being shown. So what you need to do is just select this link part. This is how you link external files into your document, right? HTML document. So I'll have to do this with all, right? Because this is happening in HTML. All the linkings are happening in HTML. So I have to do with all the files. Okay, once this is done, see, it shows how you need to put it. See, this is the way you need to put it in CSS, right? So I'll change, select only this part because I want only Ubuntu. So I'll go to replit back and go to style.css. Now I want this font to come up with everything. So I'll put it in main. Okay, I'll save it. Font family to Ubuntu. Let's run and see. Got right. So this is the change in font. So everything got changed to Ubuntu. This is how you put fonts. So you can search around with numerous fonts here. It's not only Ubuntu, there are various. And I wanted to show how they are actually incorporated into the HTML. You just need to select this link here, embed it into your head of the HTML, and then put this as CSS. Okay, now see the here font family Ubuntu, comma sans serif is given. Why have I selected only this? Why didn't I select the entire thing? Right? So why is this? Because this shows that you go to font family, select Ubuntu, how CSS will interpret it. You go to font family, select Ubuntu. If you don't find Ubuntu, find sans serif. If you don't find sans serif, go to some other font. That is the interpretation. But since I've linked this style sheet, I know definitely Ubuntu will come. So I don't need to put this sans serif ahead, right? So I selected only Ubuntu. This part clear?
Where
right, so
we have to put,
sorry, yeah.
Where we have to put at the top of the head file link.
Yeah, in the head file, the link, everything that is linked in the HTML document that comes from externally, have to be written in link, right? So this link is embedded into your HTML document, right? So therefore you're using link in the head. And then how to apply that font? By using this property, font family equals to or colon Ubuntu. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Fine. So our site is more or less made. I will not design this. So I hope this is understood, right? So this paragraph is very extra. Okay. Early usage. Yeah. So this looks a very good site for now. At least a good information, giving on wiki, good representation of information. And we came to know like various. So this is the basic HTML and CSS one should know. Right? The basic HTML and CSS one should know. Any doubt on this? I think I'm done. Any doubt on this?
Sir, is it possible to add border radius without using CSS? Like just using raw HTML only?
I have no idea currently.
Oh,
I will let you know. Okay. Currently, I don't know,
okay,
but yeah, I've done that with CSS only, so I have that idea. But currently, if that is possible, I'll let you know.
okay, sir.
No, you're thinking to do that in lab assignment.
No, in general, basically HTML, like just raw HTML would be pretty useful. Like in some cases when we don't want a CSS, like just the case of, like similar to the case of a graded assignment only, but like in I want to do it for something I'm doing. Like I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want
yeah.
to do
See,
everything in
see.
HTML, like so that I get to know like the pure HTML.
Yeah, yeah. See, that is okay. That is good to know.
Yeah.
Like good to know things like what can be done with HTML. But the thing is, we need to not complicate our things, but we need to simplify. Simplification is
Yes,
done
sir.
by CSS. Go with CSS. See, the
Okay,
idea of
sir.
having only HTML lab assignment for you is to for that, so that students should focus only on HTML, because there is a lot that can be talked upon on HTML and CSS altogether. But since
Mm-hmm.
unless students focus on HTML only, they cannot go on CSS. So the idea was that in the real life or in the like practical implementation, nobody will ask you do it with HTML only. You will have to use CSS. So if it is easily done by CSS, go with CSS. Yeah, so this HTML page will be shared not or after session, just now. Okay, I'll send this. So what I'll do is, see, what you need to do is, I'll just a minute. I'll download as zip. So it is getting downloaded. So 1 minute, just a minute, just a minute.
Maybe so you can use a share link on the right hand side. Invite.
Yeah, invite, but how many people I'm gonna invite? See, what I'll do is, okay, this is one HTML file. Okay, this is page 2 and page 3. You should create. So I'll send the link to this. Okay, I'll just copy link. So the link got copied, and now I'll copy this in the chat. Okay, so this is okay. So once, yeah. So what you can do is just open this link. Yeah, see, I'm opening this link, and I guess it will ask you to fork. It will ask you to fork. Is anyone trying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it asking you to fork?
No, sir. Yes,
Was
sir.
it? Yeah, so you fork it, the entire file structure will come to your place. You can use placeholder in lab assignment. Don't need to upload original resume.
Yes, sir. It worked.
Yeah, so you got the entire structure, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I guess this will be helpful. Yeah. Okay, so if there is any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, I guess this session is done from my side. I hope it was helpful to you all.
So I have one question. Cell
Okay.
spacing and color is not a CSS style element for tables, right?
No, it is not.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so okay, just I'll stop sharing. I guess you all have the file, so I'll
Yeah.
stop sharing, right?
Sir, like in background color, we use background color in the text. Can we use image background in the
Yes,
text?
yes, Rohit, you can use. Yeah, but now see, now that you have the understanding of how background color is added, you should study the web and see how background image is added.
Okay,
Right?
sir.
See, what do you need to see what exactly you have to do is download the image, right? And then in the HTML, you have to write background image and then add the opacity, things like that. So I don't exactly remember the syntax, but see, as we encourage you all to get through the web and search for things, so I'll try to do that now. How to add background image in HTML, right? Okay, so W3 schools, yeah, right. So see, div style background image, right? And then you have to provide the URL of that image. Okay. Let me try to do this on REPL.
Sir, you are not sharing your
Oh,
screen.
sorry. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. Just a minute. Just a minute. See. So you have to. So this is inline styling, right? This is inline styling. Let me try. Let me show you here if this happens here. So we'll go back to REPL, and then let's say I want to. Okay, what is the spray? Is it? Okay. So is this visible, REPL?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So what I'll do is I'll go to this wiki and let us add a background image here on this paragraph. Two paragraphs. No, so let's try to add a background image here. And that background image would be the DS1 itself. So I'll go back to okay, so I'll go back to my HTML page2.html, and how are we targeting it? By simply p, but it will happen with all the paragraphs, right? So Mac. Okay, so I've given the ID pack because I want to target this only. So I'll go to style. Okay. This was ID pack. Okay, and then background image. You see this property background image, and then what we need to do is just write URL, give it in colon ds1.png. Okay, let's try this. Just a minute. Page 3. Very well. It's not happening. Just a minute. ds1.png URL. Just a minute. Let me see. URL image.png. It's background image. Yes. Background image back. Okay, I did not end it with semicolon. That is very important. Let me see if it is coming anywhere. Oh shit, what did I? Okay, just a minute. So which page was it? Page 2, page 1? I don't remember.
Page 1.
Okay, just a minute. Index. No, not page 1, it was page 2. So page 2 was the relation to statistics. Yeah, see, this is the background image. The only thing is it is not visible. The text is not visible because we need to align the background image according to the text width and also provide opacity to it. Okay. Let me see if we can do more with opacity and things. Okay, so I'll again search background image opacity, transparency, opacity, right? So opacity, simply need to write opacity 0.5, but that is for image, right? Anyways, we'll try to do that and see. So where were we? Here. I'm not sure this will work because I've not worked on it before. Let's see. Yeah, this is working, right? So opacity is coming. What we need to the thing is we need to We need to align the image accordingly. And one more thing, the opacity of white color, the text has also changed. Why? Because the paragraph itself is targeted, right? The paragraph itself is targeted. Are you getting what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Right. So you're getting now how to do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that can be done. You can add background image as background image as a background. So this is how you do it. So it will be better if you do it with more more structured way. So add a div, add image inside div, add paragraph inside div. Okay, and target the div, not the paragraph. In that case, the image will be opaque and the content of paragraph will not be opaque because you're targeting the image. Things like that.
So can we give element name to an ID? So for example, you've written P here. What if you write hashtag P? Can we write that attribute name for ID?
No, you cannot, because see, because you're already P is already an used element, right? It is an element. It is a defined element in CSS.
So it will give error, like.
It will not give the styling. CSS and HTML will not give error. They will not simply do the styling as intended. So you cannot name an element with the ID of another element name. You're getting? So if I'm creating a div, so let's say what I'm saying here is, you cannot do this. So it's a div with ID div. Doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and ID is something like a specific name, right? So div is a very common name. So if at all you target div with ID and then all the other divs, like what will happen with all the other divs? You're saying that it can be done with hash and then div. So don't do that. No, don't create confusion. The ID should be a proper name where you can understand. Okay, let's say what I've done. See, I've created this main my div, right? My original div. The original div is the main div. That's why I named it as main. So the name given to ID or class should be intuitive. Right, this ID back. Why I've given back? Because I want to add a background image. I want to see that, okay, this paragraph should have a background image. So the ID should be intuitive. Class should be intuitive. That is the purpose of having ID or class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess that should be it, right?
Yes, sir. That was helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So if there are any more doubts, please ask on Discourse. No issues with that. We'll try to clear it there. You got the code also, right? So you can work on this, make it more, make it better, add more CSS to it. Okay, so whatever your doubt is, like, can we add this? Can we add this? You try doing that. If there is any issue, post it on the Discourse and we'll try to clear it. It's fine, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So if there are no more doubts, I'll call it a day. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
joining.
Thank you, sir.